All right, this is Boxing with the Truth, and I am the Truth on March 1st, 2015, and we are here today with pro boxer Omar Figueroa Jr. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Can't complain.
All right, well, let's just go over a few little facts. You are 25, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you were fighting at lightweight, but there's been kind of an announcement that you're actually moving up to light welterweight division, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and your pro record is 24 wins, 18 knockouts with 1 draw.
Yes, sir.
And your nickname is Panterita, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
and just for the boxing fans out there that don't know what that means, it means Little Panther.
Yes. It's a way of saying, like a little panther, because I got that nickname when I was 7 years old, so, they call me Little Panther.
Okay, and you're still out in Texas, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I just want to touch briefly for some of the fans that aren't aware. You just did hold the WBC world title. You were recently stripped in November because you were actually, because of a headbutt injury that occurred in your last fight to Daniel Estrada, it got infected, and then you couldn't defend the title and you were stripped, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I just wanted to be clear on that so everybody understood why you were stripped. It wasn't because you refused to fight anybody or anything like that. It was a headbutt injury that got infected, and because I haven't seen you duck anybody yet in your career, so I don't see why you would have started now.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'll ever start that.
Okay, and let's just touch briefly on your amateur career. You had about over 40 amateur fights, right?
In the U.S., yes.
Oh, okay, you had some out of the country too. Where, in Mexico?
Well, yeah, I live literally 5 minutes from the border, so I had most of my amateur fights over there in Mexico, yes.
Okay. And you're actually going to be part of the new series, the Premier Boxing Champion TV series, which your fight that you actually have coming up, we're going to talk about that, is May 9th, 2015, and that will be aired on CBS.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to talk about a few little comments that I saw from, you're always going to have your media guys that are behind you, and then you're always going to have your media guys that are trying to tear you down for some reason. And I want to see how, you've had a pretty good career, and you seem to be a pretty well-minded guy, and I want to see how you feel about some of your critics and some of the things that they say about you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now one critic said about your decision to be moving up to light welterweight division, he said, well, you don't have a lot of defense, so your chances up there are slim to none. How do you feel about that?
Well, that's what people said about me in lightweight. That's what people have been saying about me my whole career, and I still keep winning and knocking people out and just doing good. So, I mean, until then, I don't know. Until they're right, then maybe, I'll start believing that. But until now, I don't see why anybody would say that.
Okay, do you feel that you lack defense or no?
No, not at all.
Okay, also, I saw one that said, I saw him as a paper champion before he was stripped of his title. How do you feel about that? That they feel that you're a paper champion before you're stripped of your title?
Well, I don't really know what they mean by that, by paper champion. But I don't know. I don't really care what people say. When I'm older, when I have my kids and they grow up and they have their kids, and hopefully I get to see my kids' kids, and I'm gonna be able to tell them that I was a world champion at one point, and that's something, that's a virtue that I have over everyone. So I don't really care what they say, because I'll be able to tell my kids that I was a world champion at one point, that I was #1 in the world, and that's something that's gonna be with me for the rest of my life. So they can say whatever they want, but I was a champion. I don't care how they see it, but it's something that I'll be able to show my kids, and I'm proud of that.
No, and I agree with you. Not everybody makes it to be a world champion. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of pro boxers out there every year, and not everybody can ever claim that they even fought for a world title, more or less won a world title. So that's kind of when I saw that statement that I really didn't understand what the guy meant either, because, I mean, if you look at some of your fights, you're not just fighting all bums and then just won a lame title. You actually get into wars with some of these guys, and you are earning these wins. So I didn't understand what he meant by that either, because I felt that looking at your resume that you have actually you've earned a lot of these fights. You definitely earned that world title. You earned the last win that you have on your record, and you're gonna earn possibly this win against Ricky Burns, because Ricky Burns isn't a bum either. I mean, he's a former world champion himself. So I didn't get off where that guy made that statement. I didn't understand it either, but I just wanted to see how you felt about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that, I've worked my ass off to get to where I'm at. I've been working since I was 6 years old, almost 20 years, of my life, and I'm only 25. So it's kind of like they don't know what we have to go through, and it's not only me, but they talk smack about every fighter, and it's like it doesn't matter how they were given that title or how they earned that title. It's like they're not just picked off the street and chosen and be like, hey, okay, I want you to win a title from. It's not like Heyman's walking around, L.A. picking bums off the street and be like, okay, I want you to win a title, so come here, just get in the ring. And no, it's like it's something that you have to work towards. Every champion has a long trajectory of working and sacrificing and dedicating themselves to their craft and their sport. And we're not given titles; we earn them. Whether it's whether it was an easy fight or fans feel like whatever, it's like it's not just that point in time that we earn that title. It's our work throughout our whole lives, the sacrifices that we had to make when we were little, the childhood events we had to miss because of fighting, the times we couldn't go out because of fighting, the times we were at the gym on Friday nights and we couldn't go out with our friends because of fighting. It's something that people don't see. Like, some fans are very selfish and they see us as machines or something, and it's like, well, yeah, we kind of do have to be machines to be where we're at, but we're human and we sacrifice so much. We give so much to our sport for them, for their entertainment, and, it's just, I see it a little unfair, and sometimes I take it personal because it's like, man, you don't know what I had to go through to earn that title, like to put myself in the position, to where Golden Boy was interested and Al Heyman was interested, and the title opportunity came up. But that's why, like, as long as I know that, as long as my family knows that, the people that are close to me, from my hometown know that, because they know and they've seen me since I was little, running and sacrificing, and they all know what I've gone through. So as long as I know and we know, that's really all that matters. People can say whatever. They're going to talk regardless, so it doesn't really matter.
No, I agree with you. Like you said, the fans, they see you in the ring. They see you in the arena. They might see you out running once in a while, but they're not in the gym. They don't see the injuries you have to go through, the cutting of the weight, the diet, like you said, staying home on Friday night to work in the gym instead of going out with your friends, or sacrificing friends in general, because I know a lot of boxers that I've talked to, they don't even have friends outside the gym. So
yeah, I don't have friends. I don't have any friends either.
So I totally agree with you on that respect. And like you said, you have definitely earned it. I mean, just according to BoxRec alone, you are number 3 in the United States and number 4 in the world. So I don't, like you said, off of that statement, I don't know where that guy even came up with that. How are you a paper champion? You're almost number 1 in the world and in the U.S.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Obviously, the guy doesn't know boxing, and he's not really paying attention to your career as far as I'm concerned.
No, they probably do know, but they just, like, it's like you say, you have the people that support you, and you have your haters, and both are vital to our careers, so it's good that I have both.
Also, I saw a statement that you made, and I actually really like this statement. You said, "I don't fight to win belts. I fight to fight."
Yes.
I love that statement. There's some guys out there that they just want the name recognition. They just want to be able to hold a belt to say, "Hey, I won a belt." And like you said, I don't care about the belts. I just fight because I like to fight.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a true fighter. That's a true fighter. And you can tell that you're a fighter based on people that have seen you live or have watched your videos or whatever. You come to fight. You're not in there to just dance around and do a little nice boxing clinic. You come to fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a fight game. It is a hurt business, as they say. So I'm there to do my job and beat the hell out of my opponent.
Okay, and speaking of beating the hell out of an opponent, let's talk about your fight real quick because I would definitely want to promote that. You are fighting May 9th, 2015. You're back from your injury, your headbutt, your infected cut on your head that was, forced from a headbutt against Daniel Estrada back in what was it, August of 2014?
August 16. Yes, sir.
So you're definitely all back from that, right? You're 100%?
Yes, sir. Always. Right.
Okay. And for the fans, you're going to be fighting Ricky Burns out of Scotland, if they're not familiar with him. He's actually coming over here. You're fighting him in Texas, correct?
Yes, sir.
And he is a former world champion. His record is 37 wins, 11 knockouts, 4 losses, and 1 draw. He's actually ranked number 16th in the world and first in the UK. So this guy's definitely not a bum. He's fought some talented guys. He's held a belt before. So I mean, for the fans down in Texas, definitely come out watch this fight. It's actually going to be live on Premier Boxing Champions, the new TV boxing series on CBS. So everybody definitely tune in to watch Omar Figueroa Jr. hopefully KO Ricky Burns. I would love to see that. If not, it's definitely going to be a war either way because Ricky Burns comes to fight. And like I just said, Omar Figueroa Jr. is definitely a fighter. He always puts on a good show. So you will definitely get your money worth if you show up or watch it on TV. Right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So also, I just wanted to touch briefly because, I talked to you off air. I actually know 2 guys that you fought on your record, Jeremy Martz and Robbie Cannon. Unfortunately, you TKO'd both of them. Jeremy Martz in the first round, Robbie Cannon in the second round. Did you get a chance to kind of talk to these guys outside the ring or anything, or have any type of relationship with them, or did you just go in there and knock both of them out?
No, I didn't really have time. That was at the beginning of my career, I guess you can say. And I was having fights often, and it was kind of hectic. There was a lot going on, so I was doing my job. I just went in there and did what I had to do, and that's that.
Okay. Well, like I said, I don't hold nothing personal against you. You're doing your job. Both guys are actually really nice guys, and like you said, you guys are all in the fight game. They know the business, so that's the way it goes down sometimes.
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, that's how it is.
I just want to talk about, I saw something that said you're a comedian. Explain that to me. Do you like to do pranks, or do you just tell jokes, or are you just a funny guy?
No, I'm just very sarcastic, and I'm never... It's I guess, a line from Pat... I don't know if you've seen Pat Adams.
Yep.
Well, that I guess movie by Robin Williams is one of my favorites. Especially Robin Williams is awesome. I love his acting and loved his acting. May he rest in peace. But he says this line. There's this line when I think one of the girls or the girl that he liked asks him. He's like, you can never be serious, right? There's just no being serious with you and blah blah. And he's like, well, I tried being serious. I was serious for a very long time, and that didn't work out for me, so that's why I choose to be the way I am. And, because he's a funny guy. We had a joke to everything. Everything was a joke. He took everything, in a frivolous manner, and he was just very lighthearted when it came to everything. And, that sometimes I'm told the same thing, that I just can't be serious, that I'm immature, that I'm this. But it's like I just take, life as a fun thing. I enjoy life. I think we should try and make the best of it, obviously. And, you know, when it comes to being serious, obviously, you know, I'm serious. But for the most part, it's like, why am I going to take everything to heart? You know, like you were mentioning, all the comments that people say, like, why am I going to take it personal? Why am I going to take it to heart when these people don't know me? You know, it'd be a different story if my dad or my mom were to tell me, you know, oh, you're a paper champ and blah, blah, blah. You know, that'd be different because they're actually, their opinion or their viewpoint on life, on my life, actually matters to me. But other than that, you know, I say I'm a comedian just because I guess I mean it in a lighthearted way, you know, not literally a comedian like I do stand-up, but I'm just very lighthearted and frivolous when it comes to everything.
Okay. Also, I read that your first love, kind of before boxing, was baseball.
Yes.
So you think you would have been a baseball player if you weren't a boxer?
Well, I definitely wanted to try. I mean, I'm only 5'8" on a good day, so you know it'd be kind of hard when you have guys that are 6'2", 6'3", 6'5", doing what I can do. You know, so it was going to be hard to compete. I know that, and I don't work well in teams just because I don't like relying on other people, you know, for my victories or for my losses. I don't want to blame anyone else. I don't want, you know, I'd rather, I'm kind of selfish when it comes to that. Like, yeah, if we win as a team. Obviously, I don't win games by myself in baseball, but I don't know. I feel like boxing is a lot more solitary. I've always been kind of like the lone wolf, so I just prefer boxing for that reason. The fact that it's only me and the other guy in the ring, and that's it. It's just us two.
Okay.
So nobody else to blame, nobody to point the finger at, and that's it.
Also, do you have a love of motorcycles? I know you own a motorcycle, right?
Yes, sir.
So, how did your trainers and those guys feel about you out riding around on a motorcycle? Because I know boxers don't seem to be having good luck with motorcycles. Unfortunately, Paul Williams was paralyzed on a motorcycle, and Diego Corrales was killed on a motorcycle.
Yeah, it really just depends on the rider. It's like anything. You know, we have a world open to us. It just depends what we take from it and how we use it or abuse it. You know, if you ride a motorcycle, I guess, responsibly, you know, I don't see why anything would happen because you account for everyone else and you try to make up for everyone else's lack of, I guess, cautiousness on the road when it comes to sharing the road with motorcycles. So, you know, I'm just really, really, really careful. You know, I do go fast, obviously. That's what bikes are for. But I do it when I see it possible. You know, I'm not going 150 miles an hour down the street here at my house when there's traffic and there's bumps and you know what I mean. It really is about just being smart and responsible with a motorcycle, just like anything. And well, hopefully, you know, God willing, I don't ever get into that kind of accident where it could end my career or, you know, change my life drastically. So I just leave it all in God's hands and you know, hope that everything comes out all right whenever I ride.
Okay, let's get back to, I want to touch again briefly on the Ricky Burns fight. Everybody knows you have power. That's not a secret. Ricky Burns knows you have power, and obviously you're going to go for, you know, everybody wants to see you knock out Ricky Burns. That's not a secret. But Ricky Burns doesn't seem to have a lot of power. Based on his record, I mean, the guy's got 37 wins with only 11 knockouts. So what do you think that you're going to have to worry about when it comes to Ricky Burns? Because it doesn't look like you're going to have to worry about his knockout power.
I'm going to have to worry about not injuring my hands. That's about it.
So basically, you're going to have to worry about not injuring your hands. So you don't feel that Ricky Burns is bringing anything to the table that you need to worry about?
Well, they all bring something to the table that I worry about, and that's me injuring myself or a cut like I received this last fight. It's just about, you know, being injury free. Because when it comes to fighting, I've been fighting since I was 6 years old. So I don't think anything that anyone brings to the table is going to worry me in that sense, because that's what I do. You know, it's my job. That's it.
Okay, have you studied any tape on Ricky Burns? Are you pretty familiar with who Ricky Burns is, or does it not make any difference to you?
It doesn't make any difference to me.
Okay, so the fact that he's a former world title holder, that he's coming from overseas, that he's got more experience than you, none of that, you could care less. He's just another guy on the other side of the ring.
Yes, exactly. It's just another assignment that I have to, you know, complete.
Okay, do you have any superstitions or rituals or habits that you do before a fight?
No, not that I know of. You know, baseball is a very superstitious sport. I remember, you know, doing the same thing every time I went up to the plate. Every time I was pitching, I did the same little ritual before every inning. It's just, I don't know. It's just funny. And I think about it now, and I'm like, why the hell did I used to do all that? But when it comes to boxing, no, I don't think I have any superstitions.
Okay. At this point, who do you think your toughest win was over?
Toughest win, obviously, I would have to say against Arakawa.
Okay. That's the one where both of you guys' face looked like mincemeat, right? Where you guys beat each other up pretty good?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I saw that photo, boy. I actually haven't had a chance to watch that fight yet, but I have all intentions of it because of the look on both you guys' face after that fight was priceless.
Yeah, it was a very, very hard fight, at least on my end. You know, I had to really push myself to the limit just because I had, you know, hurt hands, and it was my first time going 12 rounds, and, you know, I was averaging close to 100 punches a round. It was a ridiculous fight.
Okay, and like you said, you've been in boxing since you were like 6 years old. What brought you to the sport of boxing?
My dad, he wanted me to learn how to fight so I could defend myself, because he was bullied a lot when he was growing up. When he moved to the U.S. from Mexico, you know, he was kind of, I guess, you know, made fun of for being a wetback, and he couldn't really speak English, and so he's like, if you're going to go through that, you know, because I'm pretty sure you're going to, you know, be bullied or whatever, at least I want you to know how to defend yourself. And that's why he put me in boxing.
Okay, now, like we talked about, you're moving up in weight, but is there any reason before you moved up in weight why, like, we didn't get a chance to see you fight like Terrence Crawford or Mikey Bay?
I don't know. The fights just, they didn't happen. They weren't offered to me. They didn't tell me, you know, my team didn't get that fight for me. So it's just, oh, well, I did what I could. I tried my best to stay at 135 as long as possible. And that was it.
Okay, so you're moving up to light welterweight. Like I said, you have power. Well, I know there's this prospect, and I don't know if you're aware of him or not. I've seen him fight before, and he's got tremendous power too. And if you're gonna move up to light welterweight, I would really love to see you fight this guy. I think it would. I don't think the fight would go very long, and I definitely think one of you guys would knock the other one out. Are you familiar with Amir Iman?
No, but I saw his last fight against the guy's name.
Fidel Maldonado Jr.?
The what? I'm sorry.
When he just fought Fidel Maldonado Jr.?
Yes, that one. I saw that one, and you know, he looked like that was a very good fight. So yeah, I mean, definitely, I think it'd be a very short fight, and I think it'd be an interesting one as well. Yeah,
because I believe he's 15-0 right now, and like I said, you know, you're 24-0-1. I'd love to see that fight on TV, honestly. I mean, if you're moving up, I mean, he's right now is I think like 15th in the United States or something. So I mean, that could definitely be a possible fight in the future for you on the light welterweight.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like I said, you know, I don't care who I fight, who it is, you know, put their names in a hat and let me choose one of them. I really don't care.
Okay. Well, listen, let's. I just want to promote the fight one more time, and then we'll wrap up the interview. Once again, if you guys aren't aware of it, out to the boxing fans, May 9th, 2015, Omar Figueroa Jr. will be facing Ricky Burns from Scotland on Premier Boxing Champion, new TV series. It will be aired on CBS. Do not miss this fight because it could be a short fight. I guess depending on if Omar can catch him. If not, it's going to be a war either way. So, like I said, it's going to be an exciting fight. There's going to be other fights on the card as well. And Al Heyman's been putting together some pretty good matchups. So I'm looking forward to this fight and many more fights on the card that are going to be pretty good. Anything to say to your fans, Omar?
Well, like always, just, thank you guys for supporting me and having my back and following me and just keeping up with my career. I appreciate it. I do this for the fans. I do this for them to, have that memory. Because I've been told, one of my good friends' mom, the last fight she saw was my fight against Arakawa, and, unfortunately she passed away not too long after. And he tells me, she actually comes out in the video on YouTube. You can see her, stand up and cheer, and just she loved boxing, and that actually is what brought us together, me and my her son. And he tells me that that's one of his favorite memories of her. Seeing how happy, how joyous she was watching my fight, how into it and intense she got, and that's one of his favorite memories of her mom, of his mom. So it's, I guess that's why I do it. That's why I do what I do, just for those, those moments that people share, and I want them to enjoy it. Like I want them to be something that they remember. It's like, oh yes, that was the fight with Omar. That's when we were doing this, and we were there at your house and having that cooked out or whatever. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate what they do, and I'm glad they enjoy my fights, and hopefully I won't disappoint them, and I'll keep making them proud.
Okay, actually, I got one more question for you. Everybody knows the big mega fight's been signed. Floyd Mayweather against Manny Pacquiao, May 2nd. Who do you like in that fight?
Well, I would like Pacquiao to win, obviously, but Mayweather always has input in that. So if I were to bet, I'd bet on Mayweather, but I want Pacquiao to win.
Okay. All right, well, I appreciate the interview and your time, and I'm definitely going to be watching the May 9th fight against Ricky Burns. I personally, if I have to predict, I think Ricky Burns is going to have an early night due to your power, I hope. But if not, then I hope it goes the distance and it becomes a war, because either way, I think it's going to be an exciting fight. So I appreciate the interview once again, and I'm going to continue to follow your career, and I definitely believe that you're going to end up getting that belt back. So,
thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. And the truth has spoken.